Did you know there are significant tax benefits for adoption? If you've been curious about tax credits or how employer reimbursement programs work surrounding adoption, this video is for you. Let's break down how you can benefit from expanding your family through adoption. Stick around to the end, as I also mention benefits connected to foster care. Hey there, tax warriors. Welcome to JDB Tax. I'm Brian Eustache, enrolled agent and tax strategist, but I call myself a taxtician, a tax tactician leveraging the tax code to build your financial fortress. And with this segment of Tax Tactics, we're tackling a topic that hits close to home in more ways than one. Growing up, my parents became foster parents. And after fostering many families, they adopted my now siblings, who joined our family as foster children first, and through adoption became permanent members. Now, the main reason for my parents opening their home wasn't for tax savings, but for those who have a heart open, it's good to know there's help with taxes to start the journey. For 2024, taxpayers can claim a maximum adoption tax credit of $16,810 per eligible child. This credit applies to international, domestic, private, and public foster care adoptions. However, if you're adopting your spouse's child, you won't be eligible for the credit. To claim the credit, you'll need to complete Form 8839. The credit is also non-refundable, which means it's limited to your tax liability for the year. But any excess credit can be carried forward for up to 5 years. Qualified expenses include reasonable and necessary adoption fees, court costs and legal fees, adoption-related travel expenses like meals and lodging, and other expenses directly related to the legal adoption of an eligible child. Now, these expenses can even qualify if paid before identifying an eligible child, such as home study fees at the beginning of the process. But also, if you'd like to see more tax content like this, hit the like, comment down below. The adoption tax credit is available if your modified adjusted gross income is less than $252,150. And if your modified adjusted gross income is between $252,000 and $292,000, you'll receive a reduced credit. Unfortunately, if your modified adjusted gross income is $292,150 or more, you're not eligible for the credit. You must reduce the dollar limit for a particular year by the amount of qualified adoption expenses paid and claimed in previous years for the same adoption effort. So, for example, if you claimed a $3,000 credit in 2023 and paid $16,810 in 2024, the maximum credit you can claim in 2024 is $13,810. Now, if you had unsuccessful adoption attempts, those expenses must be combined with expenses from successful attempts. For example, if you claimed $8,000 in expenses in 2022 and spent $10,000 in 2023 and 2024 for a successful adoption, your 2024 credit is $8,810. Employer-provided adoption assistance can also reduce the amount you can claim for the credit. You must claim any allowable exclusion before claiming the credit, and you can't claim both for the same expenses. Let's look at a few examples. Example number one. You pay $16,810 in qualified expenses, and your employer reimburses $6,810. You could exclude $6,810 from your income and claim $10,000 for the credit. For example, two, you pay $21,810 and your employer reimburses $5,000. You can exclude $5,000 from your income and can claim $16,810 for the credit. Now, example number three, you pay $34,620 and your employer reimburses $16,810. You can exclude $16,810 from income and claim $16,810 as a credit. The remaining $1,000 can't be used for either the exclusion or the credit due to the dollar limitation. The timing rules for claiming the credit depends on when the expenses are paid, the type of adoption, and when the adoption is finalized. For domestic adoption, qualified expenses paid before the finalization year are allowable in the following year, even if the adoption isn't finalized. But for foreign adoptions, expenses are only allowable in the year the adoption becomes final. If you adopt a U.S. child with special needs, you're eligible for the maximum credit in the year of finality, regardless of the expenses paid. This also applies if your employer provides adoption assistance. If your employer has a written qualified adoption assistance program, you may be eligible for the exclusion even if you or your employer didn't pay any qualified adoption expenses. Now, a child is considered to have special needs if they are a U.S. citizen or resident. A state determines they can't return to their parents' home, and the state determines they probably won't be adoptable without assistance. Now, don't confuse children with special needs for purposes of the adoption credit with definitions of children with special needs for other purposes. Foreign children aren't considered to have special needs for the purposes of the adoption credit. Even U.S. children who have disabilities may not have special needs for purposes of the adoption credit. Generally, special needs adoptions are the adoptions of children whom the state child welfare agency considers difficult to place for adoption. Now, let's talk about another side of bringing children into your home: foster care and foster care payments. Generally, payments you receive from the state or other eligible entities for providing care to a foster child in your home are considered support for that child. These payments are not included in your income for federal tax purposes. However, if you receive payments to maintain space in your home for emergency foster care, you must include these payments as income for federal tax purposes. So there you have it. Adoption comes with significant tax benefits that can help ease the financial burden. Make sure to consult with your tax advisor to navigate these benefits effectively. And if you're wondering about other tax saving opportunities, JDB Tax Strategy helps business owners legally save money on taxes without fear of the IRS by leveraging the tax code to the fullest extent. After booking a consultation call with us at jdbtax.com, we'll build a personalized battle plan to minimize your tax burden and maximize your wealth. So, subscribe, hit that notification bell, click all to join me in this epic quest to conquer taxes and claim your financial throne. Post Tax Tactics every Tuesday and Thursday. See you next time, Tax Warriors.